Ladies and gentlemen, Ethereum has broken above all-time highs. We have liftoff. I have been trying my very best on this channel over the last few weeks to warn people, to ring the alarm bells, to let you know that this was an inevitability. It was just a matter of time before Ethereum broke all-time highs and vastly surpassed it. And this time around, it looks like we might very well do that. Now, look, in this video, we're going to run through some technical analysis, talk about what I see happening both short-term and long-term, so you gotta stay tuned to this channel, because we've absolutely been calling it. We've been saying for a while, it's just a matter of time before Ethereum breaks above its all-time highs. Put out videos yesterday saying within the next week, we're going to see a big move, and look what happened. Today, we broke above all-time highs. Now, there's some very important things to discuss, which is Ethereum loves doing this start and stop movement where we pump, near all-time highs, crash, pump to all-time highs, crash, pump to all-time highs, crash. Now the question is now going to be similar where you pump to all-time highs, created a new all-time highs, and now are we due for a leg down? Well, let's delve into some, let's look at our indicators to see what might be happening here. But just before I do, I think the most important EMA we need to look out for to remain bullish is perhaps the 20 EMA on the daily. We can see how every time we dump after the pump, we find support there. So I'd wager that this time around we're very likely to find support. I've drawn a box of support where if, and that's a big if at this point, if we fall down, I believe we're likely to find support from between 1350 and 1300. That's where I would be looking to accumulate Ethereum. We can see a lot of volume starting to build up within these regions, and there's a cluster of EMAs all throughout different time frames throughout these ranges from 1350 to 1300. That's where I would be looking to accumulate personally. Not a guarantee we fall back down to those ranges because, guys, I'll give my predictions for where I think this breakout's going to go and long term. But let's take a look at our indicators because it's very important. Let's begin by looking at the daily. Guys, the daily looks bullish. Let's start at the bottom, work our way up. Stochastic, RSI, bullish crossover on the way up. RSI, higher highs, higher lows. Weighted MACD. We had a bullish crossover on the way up. Regular MACD. Looks like it wants to have a bullish crossover on the daily. Daily histogram taking up. That is a big deal, folks. It looks bullish. Let's take a look at the 12. Bullish. 12-hour bullish crossover on the MACD. That is a big deal, folks. Everything is on the way up on the 12-hour. Let's take a look at the 10. Everything's on the way up. Let's take a look at the 8. Everything's on the way up. Let's take a look at the 6. Everything's on the way up. Let's take a look at the 4. Everything's on the way up. Are you guys starting to notice a theme? Ethereum looks quite bullish right now. 4-hour. Look, we're starting to see, the stochastics in the overbought region. RSI is approaching the overbought region. So, we're overbought here, a bit overextended. We could have a pullback in the short term. So let's keep looking. Yeah. Look at this. Stochastics in the overbought region, but just had a bullish crossover. Our RSI is in the overbought region, but everything's bullish. Weighted MACD looks like it wants to have a bullish crossover in the 2-hour. So yeah, we're starting to see some signs that we're overextended in the short term, smaller time frames. But I mean, then look at the hourly. Hourly was in the oversold region and had a bullish crossovers on its way up. Now, RSI is starting to make a lower high in the overbought region. So that's interesting. Weighted MACD bullish crossover. So now we're really starting to see some signs of us perhaps being overextended. Really, at this point, it's just the RSI on the hourly. That's the only indicator so far that we're due for a pullback. If we look at the half hour. Stochastic, it might wants to have a bearish crossover. RSI still making lower highs. Weighted MACD on the way up. Regular MACD on the way up as well. So guys, really the only thing looking bearish is kind of the RSI on the half hour and the hourly time frames. Aside from that, literally everything else, all the higher time frames look insanely bullish. So what does this mean? Well, I think kind of best case scenario for Ethereum right now is that we consolidate around this breakout point. That would be the best case scenario. If we could, just hover around here, see, like, look, we peaked above, and now, this hourly candle that closes in roughly 23 minutes at the time of recording. If this can close above the previous resistance here at, 1475, that's kind of the best case scenario. If we have just some consolidation above here, above 1475, that's good. As long as Ethereum remains above 1475, I think it's likely that we won't have a pullback like this. Now, if we start to see candles close below this red line, I think it's very likely that we could have something very similar to what we've been having, which is after the pump, we have a pullback. After the pump, the pullback. After the pump, the pullback. So, At some point, Ethereum can't keep doing this forever. At some point, Ethereum's going to break its all-time highs, consolidate around it, and then continue with bullish continuation at some point. The question is that now? We don't know. Best case scenario, we consolidate above 1475. If you look at Ethereum, if it's today, tomorrow, whenever it is, you look and it's above 1475, I think we're likely to see bullish continuation. If not, I think we're likely to have a pullback. If we have a pullback, I think 1350 to 1300 is where I would be looking to accumulate. Again, there's just so many clusters of EMAs and simple moving averages all throughout the different time frames. You know, like the 50 simple and in the 50 exponential moving average on the 6 hours right there. As well, if we zoom if we zoom out to the 10 hour, we can also see how the 10 hour 50 simple moving average and exponential moving average are also critical support. Again, right within my buy zone here from 1350 to 1300. So guys, bottom line is, if we correct, I think this is where we're going to. This is where I would be looking to accumulate. I would either, if we fell back down to 1350 to 1300, I would consider even a long as a trade, or that's where I would be looking to add to my long-term bags. Now, guys, so that's what I see happening with Ethereum. But let's talk about price targets, price predictions. I know that's what you fiends like. So if we assume this is the height of the triangle, we move the height of the triangle to the breakout point. Something I've been saying for a while. Could we see 2K ETH in the short to midterm? I definitely think we could, especially if we consolidate and hold above 1475. Because every time ETH has touched all-time highs twice now and corrected afterwards. So each time it had an immediate correction. But if this time around we can continue to hold above the previous high at 1475, that is very good news. That is a sign that this breakout could be different. If not, this is my price target. Short term, I think $2,000 ETH is very sensible. I think we're likely to get that within the month of February. Guys, just to understand, just to give you guys a bit of an understanding of the macro situation, the factors that are outside of the chart that you need to be aware of. Guys, Elon Musk put hashtag Bitcoin in his bio. Now, you guys might say, oh, what is that? That's nothing. That is not nothing. You think that guy just put that in his bio and he's not going to buy some? He's not going to have Tesla buy some? I think it's a very high likelihood chance that he will, and that Tesla and himself is probably going to buy some Bitcoin, which is going to be one of the most bullish things that's ever happened to crypto on the scale of Grayscale getting in, PayPal accepting crypto. Like, it's going to be such a massive catalyst. Because it's going to be like a cultural moment. And not only that, guys, micro strategy with Micro Sailor is holding a conference tomorrow and the February 3rd and 4th for all the companies and executives in the world that are most receptive and most open-minded to getting into Bitcoin and getting into crypto. Guys, the institutions are flooding in. Every single bull run in history has been driven by retail traders, people like you and me, average people. That is not the case this time around. This time around, the floodgates have broken open and institutional investors are flooding into this space. We're talking banks. We're talking the largest corporations in the world. We're talking the richest people in the world. We're talking countries. Guys, this time around will be different. The recipe is different. We're at the beginning stages of a bull run in terms of the macro cycles. Demand has never been higher, interest has never been higher, and supply has never been lower. Ethereum 2.0 is being rolled out. A bunch of the liquidity for Ethereum is being locked up for extended periods of time. The developers are thinking of burning Ethereum. Ethereum is now deflationary. Ethereum is the next cryptocurrency that institutional investors are most likely to move into. Guys, I haven't even said a quarter of the things that make Ethereum super bullish in the long term. Guys, you can tell I'm excited because I do believe that this is just the beginning. 2K is just the beginning. I think this bull run is likely to top off around the end of 2021, and Ethereum is likely to reach the tens of thousands of dollars. Do I know that for sure? Absolutely not. Could I be wrong? Definitely. I could definitely be wrong. That is, technically a possibility. Although every single factor that I've looked at, all the evidence that I've looked at, tells me that over the long term, Ethereum has a very good chance of reaching the tens of thousands of dollars sometime October, November this year. September 21 is when I think it's most likely that Ethereum tops out. And guys, just be aware as well. We're in a bull run, right? I do think eventually this bull run will end and we will enter a bear market and years of consolidation, rinse and repeat, because it's all based off the Bitcoin halvings. So, folks, here are my thoughts. Understand cryptocurrency is highly volatile. We could see massive corrections in the short term, but over the long term, I think we haven't seen anything yet, and this is just the beginning. So, guys, stay tuned to this channel. We break down critical technical analysis all the time, every day. So yeah, stay tuned, guys. If you want to trade these markets, check out bybit, link down in the description. If you want to use a AI-fueled price predictions and portfolio suggestions platform, I invite you to check out Token Metrics. We use it for doing a lot of our research. So link for that down in the description below. Check out our Discord, guys. If anything interesting happens with these coins, we'll definitely be discussing it there. And just again, before I wrap up here, I think kind of the 100 EMA on the 10-hour is now the EMA that most closely hugs this exponential moving average. So I think this EMA is now the most important EMA we need to look out for in order for us to remain short-term bullish. I think we could fall as low to this 100 EMA on the 10-hour theoretically and still remain short-term bullish. If we start to break down below this ascending triangle, or really this EMA, that's when I think we have to rethink Ethereum's price structure, although I don't think that's very likely. And again, just I know I'm going on for a while here, folks, but there's just so much to mention. When I say, like, guys, another reason why I talk so fast is because I have so much to say. I just need to get it out there, and I know, people won't sit around for a 30-minute video, so I just try to really throw out the most important things as quick as I can. So some of the important things we also need to look out for is Bitcoin dominance, folks. This is important. Bitcoin dominance is definitely going to be an important chart to look at in order to understand what the altcoins could do. Bitcoin dominance being the total value of Bitcoin in comparison to the total value of all cryptocurrencies. Whenever it falls, altcoins typically benefit. Whenever it rises, altcoins typically suffer. As well, the dollar index, guys, we're seeing something very concerning with the dollar, which is the fact that it's rallying, it's breaking above resistance. This could act as a suppressant on Bitcoin. At least it'll be a factor, right? It's not the end all be all, but is it a factor? I definitely think so. Whenever the dollar rises, other currencies, including crypto, typically suffers. Whenever it falls, other currencies, including crypto, typically benefits. So, guys, I hope I've armed you guys with at least some of the knowledge you need to succeed in crypto and in Ethereum. Stay tuned to this channel, folks. Take care.